All right, I think I'm good. Let's start this off right, y'all. Start this off right. Here we go. Oh, what's going on? Here we go. Yeah. 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 Y'all already know what's good, y'all. What's good, y'all. What's good, y'all. What's great. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. I'm here flying this plane dolo tonight. So you already know. Shout out to my co-host, my normal co-host, my brother Santana. Shout out to our guest co-host of the show, a friend of the show, brother to the show, my brother Jokey from Jokey Entertainment. But y'all already know we're gonna have fun. I'm here. I'm gonna pilot this thing and bringing a great show for y'all. So keep that good energy with me. Let's have some fun. Chat, y'all already here in the chat. Oh man, I can't. I'm so happy that y'all tune in every Thursday and Sunday at 10:30 to Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. Y'all been so instrumental and so supportive into the growth of the show. So thank you for tapping in. Let's start this off right. I want to shout out to some of our people in the chat already. Shout out to some of our day ones that I can see right now. Krista Matlock, Culture Talk, Winter Breeze in the building, King Prince in the building. Also, who else? Who else am I missing? I'm missing somebody else. Uh, I can't see the last person that just put up. I can't see it, but shout out to you. Appreciate you for tapping in some of our day. Once again, tap into the membership portion in our page. Links is in the bio. Different memberships gain you different access, so make sure you tap into the page. Again, man, thank y'all for tuning in. And let's get the show started, y'all. First question of the night. Filming a big budget movie. Filming a big budget movie, and you need a leading actor. Who are you going with? Okay. So number one is Anthony Hopkins. Number two is Al Pacino. Number three is Robert De Niro. Number four is Harrison Ford. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. I already know who I'm going with on this one myself, but let me know who y'all think in the chat. I'll give y'all a couple of seconds to type that in. Let me know what y'all think. Uh, who y'all will go with in the chat. Hold on, what's that? They messing it up. They messing it up, man. Yeah, so for me, on this list, I will go with Harrison Ford. Me personally, I'm a big Harrison Ford fan. All his movies have been stand out to me. It's something about the way he plays roles that comes across very believable in anything that he does, whether he's playing the president, whether he's on the run for his life, whether he's playing a quirky type of character. He's always made it believable. All his roles have been very believable for me personally. So I'm going with Harrison Ford. In the chat, who they went with in the chat? Us. In the chat, I'm seeing Al Pacino in the chat. Uh, so Harrison Ford. I'm going with Harrison Ford. The rest of y'all went with the rest of you, I'm seeing I went with Harrison Ford. Some people said Al Pacino in the chat. The rest of the world at 44% went with Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro. So 44% of y'all said y'all would go with Robert De Niro if you was doing a movie and you needed a leading actor for the movie. So that's dope. All these are great actors. Like Anthony Hopkins has his strengths in movies. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, they all have their own strength. They all have their own way of doing things. So that's what I will go. Shout out to everybody that's already in the building. Thank y'all. Hit that like button while you're in. Make sure you are subscribed to the show. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next popular opinion question. If you Where should the government invest more money in? Okay, that's the question. Where should the government invest more money in? Number one, building homes for homeless. Number two, finding the cure for cancer. Number three, stronger military. Number four, you're just unsure with what they should do. What they should do. So again, number one was building homes for homeless. Number two, finding cures for cancer. Number three, stronger military. Number four, you just unsure. That kind of rhymed a little bit. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Me personally, I'm gonna go with uh, I'm gonna go with building homes for the homeless on this list, on this particular list. What I think the government should do and invest their money in. I think the government should invest their money into building homes for the homeless off this list, mainly because we live in a country that's so rich in money. We print it up every single day, and it doesn't make sense to me how we have people who are homeless. Like it's a difference if you choose to be homeless, right? And people may think like, how do you choose to be homeless? People choose not to have responsibilities. They choose to see the world as their bed. Some people actually choose or make a clear cut decision like, yo, it doesn't make sense why anybody pays rent. So based off that principle, people just choose to be out here, right? But me personally, for people that don't choose to be homeless, there's no reason why we people should be homeless. Like I'm from Brooklyn, New York, right? But I moved to Florida. And in Florida, it's a very sketchy thing because you could live in the nicest neighborhood in Florida, the nicest neighborhood, but when you go right outside, it's nothing but poor people, homeless people. Shout out to Sean in the building. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to Fun Poker in the building. So why, hey Marcus Houston, I appreciate that. I've been hearing that all my life. Thank you for tapping in, man. Appreciate y'all. Hit that like button as well, please. Helps with the show. Uh, I'm your cousin, Ashley. Shout out to Ashley. I'm your cousin. That's what's up. That's what's up. We all cousins. You know what I'm saying? We all cousins. If you really my real cousin, then you know where to find me. You know where to find me. All right. But thank you again. Appreciate you tapping in. Like for real, seriously. Please hit that like button again, y'all. But going back to my original point is off this list where we asking where should the government invest their money? And the answers was building homes for homeless, finding cure for cancer, or stronger military, or for just being unsure. So again, there's no reason why we should have homeless people in the U.S. at all. We have so much resources, so much available. We had other people that migrated from other countries, and we was able to put them up and make sure that they was right. But we have people that's here, we have people that are sleeping on the streets, laying next to rats. Well, I live in a nice neighborhood, and not too far, you have homeless people just sleeping on the sidewalk. You know what I mean? Like right by that bridge, and it just doesn't make sense to me. So me, I'm going with building homes for homeless. In the chat, I seen finding cure. People said finding cure for chat. I have AirPods here for sale. Appreciate. Uh, okay. Uh, so again, I went with building homes for homeless. Yeah. In the chat, I seen finding cure for cancer. The rest of the world at 53%. At 53% went with building homes for homeless. Building homes for homeless. They agree with me. So yeah. Do you rap? I don't understand. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. This is also a podcast, and this is where we get a chance to have barbershop talk about everything: sports, music, the world in general. So appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Shout out to Smoke Eyes. Appreciate you tapping in. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. And if you're here to be weird, then get up out of here. So either way, show love or hit the exit button, sir. All right, moving on to our next segment. Hollywood need to ask us. We came up with this segment because Hollywood has been giving us movies that we just didn't ask for, and the ideas is not creative. So we came up with this segment. All right, so Hollywood need to ask us on this episode. I would love to see a series based on. Y'all know I hate saying the word black because that's not we all. We're not 3/5 of a people or 3/5 of a person. But I substitute the word for culture. So I want to see a movie based on our culture, that all the people that we had throughout time, that was inventors or people that changed the course of history by taking a stand on different things. I want to see it in the actual TV show, was kind of not kind of, where they're in their younger self and the storyline is all connected to one big universe. So yeah, I like Marvel, right? So with Marvel, you know how you have Captain America over here and how he met Iron Man. I would like to see something where like uh Garrett A. Morgan, ran into Rosa Parks because you got the stoplight, you got the bus. I know it's different eras, but entertain me for a second. But I want to take those accomplishments and have them in one universe, and how it helped shape the world that we live in today. So I would love to see a series based on that. I think that would be like a 5 season type of thing, but I would love to see what a 12 series uh, show look like, doing that particular thing. So that's what I would love to see. And Russian, some of it is the coolest people on earth. Love you, brothers. Appreciate you. Love you, brothers and sisters. Appreciate you. Again, Roadblock, this is not the pod for that. Don't be here to be weird. Don't try to knock the hustle. Don't try to be, if you're not here to support, get up out of here. Stop being weird. I'm from the island reunions. Guy look like Drake. Appreciate that. Monday only. Okay, okay, go play. Facts, facts. All right, so I would love to see that idea. All right, moving on to our next segment. Our next segment is must see movies. My three must see movies for this episode is, these are fire movies, by the way, too. My first movie came out in 1993, directed by Andrew Davis. He also did a movie called Above the Law. Many of you may know it, many of you may not. All right, so Above the Law, this movie, um, the movie that I'm talking about, he also directed the movie Fugitive. This stars Harrison Ford, Tommy Lee Jones, Sally Ward, Gilliana Moore, and Palatino. Joe Palatino. Fire movie. This movie's about a doctor who comes home and he gets framed for his wife murder. So now he's forced to be on the run, and I won't ruin the movie for you. So make sure you tap into the rest of the movie. And it's a fire movie, so make sure y'all check that out. It's called The Fugitive. I won't ruin it for you. Yeah, get Roadblock out of here. Get him out of here. I told you, stop being weird. Stop trying to knock other people for what they doing. Get up out of here. Go find you some business or support. I appreciate the support, but if you're gonna be weird, you're gonna be corny, get up out of here. All right, moving on. My second must-see movie. Second must-see movie, also directed by Andrew Davis. It's a legendary director. This movie came out in 1998. I just mentioned it. It's called Above the Law. This stars Steven Seagal, Sharon Stone, Pam Grier, Henry Silva, and Nicholas Kacinko. Yeah, Nicholas Kacinko. This movie is about a top cop trying to be a top cop. He had a real big break in the case. The people that he got the break in the case for came after his family, and I won't ruin the movie for you. Make sure you tap in to see Above the Law. It's a great entertaining movie, fire movie, I must say. And I'm not a real big Steven Seagal like how I used to be, because you hear the things that a lot of the actors that he do his action scenes with, they said that Steven Seagal was really trying to hurt them. And if you ever seen a Steven Seagal movie, he was putting in pain, and that kind of threw me off. Like, if you really watch those movies, you'll see what I'm talking about. But this is a good movie. I cannot lie. All right, my final must see movie came out in 1996, also directed by Andrew Davis. This movie is called Chain Reaction. This stars Keanu Reeves, Morgan Freeman, Rochelle Wise, and Fred Ward. This is about a scientific team or a group of team that came up with a particular compound that could change the world. And you had other folks that was basically on the run. And I won't ruin the movie for you, so make sure you tap in to see Chain Reaction. So my three must see movies again. My three must see movies for this episode is The Fugitive, Above the Law, and Chain Reaction. So make sure y'all tap into those three movies. All right, moving on to our must hear portion of the show, caught with. Shout out to Colt in the building. Shout out to CP in the building. Shout out to Brian in the building. Shout out to Fun Parker again. Polka, I'm sorry. Fun Polka American. Also, class you speaking. Appreciate you. Again, Brian, appreciate you for tapping in. Please don't be weird. Appreciate you tapping in. But you're being a little weird. But if that's the type of time you on, we respect all people here. And if you're here for the great conversation, you're more than welcome to tap in. All right. Again, moving on to our must hear segment. All right. So this is an R&B edition. I got three songs that you have to put on your playlist. All right. So my first song is oldies but goodies. All right. So my first song is by the group Midnight Star and their song called Curious. My second must have on your playlist is a group named Atlantic Star and they have a fire song called Let's Get Closer. And my third must hear song and also put on that playlist is by Jamie Foxx. The song is called Summertime. So make sure you tap into those three songs. Again, that's Jamie Foxx Summertime, Atlantic Star, Let's Get Closer, and Midnight Star Curious. So make sure you put those on your playlist. Moving on to our must see or classic TV show. This one is more so of a stand up. I just spoke his name, Jamie Foxx. He has a new stand up out that y'all should go see. It's pretty good. But this one that you must see of Jamie Foxx is called I Might Need Security. Came out in 2002, and it is hilarious. He's on there killing it, doing his thing, cracking all the funny jokes, and he's also at the end of that concert or at the end of that show, he starts busting his singing. Of course, you know how Jamie Foxx do. He sing and joke at the same time, and it's a masterpiece. So make sure you tap into his stand-up special called I Might Need Security. So make sure y'all tap into that. All right, cologne for this episode. You know, we're gonna hook y'all up with some colognes. This cologne is called Chanel Allure Homie Sport. Make sure y'all tap into Chanel Allure Sport. It's a fire cologne. It smells really good. And fellas, if you're trying to, get her attention without getting her attention, tap into that cologne. It works. That's all I can say. It works. So make sure you tap into that. All right, y'all already know what time it is. It's time to rap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps. Button Snaps, where you get classic movies, shows, documentary, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, Button Snaps. First hot topic of the night. The Alexander brothers, which are known to be real estate tycoons, they have been arrested on federal sex trafficking charges. They've had victims that came out to say that these men, took them to different parts of the world, and it was all for the act of having sex. Um, and in between that, they was essayed. During these particular situations, and several women have came out to have them charged, and they are in jail. So I like this situation all in general. Shout out to William EF in the building. Shout out to William EF in the building. Shout out to Canada in the building. Shout out to Ken Big Fisher in the building, man. Appreciate y'all tapping and hit that like button, man. But again, we're talking about the Alexander brothers, the real estate tycoons who was arrested for federal sex trafficking charges. We like I don't think is a surprise anymore. When people make a certain amount of money and they get to a certain type of level, the way they move, it changes, but it's the same, right? And what I mean by that is this: that when you have money, it just makes you more of the person or what you already are, right? So in this particular situation, these men have a whole lot of money that they made from real estate. So they're playing on a whole nother level at this point. And to hear, that they've been moving in this type of manner where they will, of course, they own property, they will have vacation homes or stake somewhere, and they could play on a different level. This is not the first we heard of people having this type of money and being able to fly people out and pretty much take advantage of them. This is very unfortunate. I hope that they do, you know, uh, face their fate. And I feel sorry for those victims. At the end of the day, you you have to be careful of putting yourself in a situation where it doesn't help you. If you're basically helpless, don't put yourself in a position to be more helpless. So at the end of the day, I hope that these men face their fate and go to jail for a long time. These are not people that need to be on the street. Uh, free Donald Trump. Can you say one word this or going crazy? Any Okay, Peter Pan, shout out to you, but don't be weird. Appreciate you tapping it, hit that like button. Obviously, free R. Kelly. Can I send you a present? My company. Appreciate you. All right, so our next hot topic of the night: former WNBA All Star Cappy Pondexter, sorry, again has made some serious, not again, but have made some serious allegations about or against LeBron James. She's saying back in 2021, and these are quotes that came out of her mouth that was on her live. I ain't confused. He tried to kill me for real. I didn't know where I was at. I don't F with LeBron James. He's a trafficker. He's a trafficker of women in real time. He stole my money out of my, he stole my money. He stole all my money out of my bank account. These are quotes that was from her mouth on her live. Appreciate that, William. Appreciate that. Um, so these are the quotes that was from her own mouth that she said about LeBron James. Again, for those who just joining in, the quotes that former WNBA All Star Cappy Pondexter, I already know who she is. She used to play for the New York Liberty. She was a bucket. She was one of the WNBA's best players for a long period of time. And she said this about LeBron James: I ain't confused. Again, this was on her live. He tried to kill me for real. I didn't know where I was at. I don't F with LeBron James. He's a trafficker, and he's a trafficker of women in real time. He stole all my money out of my account. I mean, mm. So I have to be fair about this, right? So LeBron James have more money than anybody, right? But when people hear that, if that was the truth, right? I don't think he took the money because he broke. We all know he ain't broke, but to have somebody powerless is to take their money. How would he gain access of all her money? That's another question in itself, too, right? But these are some serious allegations that she has said on her live about LeBron James. Now, LeBron James have been the golden child of sports and basically a walking role model since 2004. It's a long time, right? maybe 2003, 2000. No, I'll say like 2002 is probably when I first heard of LeBron James. And we're in 2024 going into 2025. So he's built a equity with the people that we want to hear his side of the story, even though she is someone who has to be taken serious and a credible source. This is not somebody that doesn't not have nothing to lose. This is not somebody that we don't know. This is somebody that we watch grow up, play uh, college basketball, and now WNBA. She retired, but she is somebody with a track record of somebody that we know saying about somebody who's in a upper echelon in society based on the fame aspect of it. So this particular thing is this going to have legs moving forward. This particular story actually just came out. This is something that's very new, and seeing this is very scary because we're seeing a theme and a narrative that a lot of people from the culture that are at a certain level, there seems to be some sort of agenda to really knock them off their access. Um, I wonder what's that about. I mean, a guy like LeBron James, who's coming to the end of his career, he got a chance to play with his son. He might stick around to play with his youngest son. Um, but he's not going to be in the game for too much longer. So the amount of money that he's been able to make, he's going to be able to walk away from the game and turn that into some sort of ownership. I believe he also owns or have part ownership in a soccer team, but there might be a pivot where he's going to do some sort of ownership, just like Tom Brady. Because Tom Brady, for those who don't know, Tom Brady either owns majority share of the Raiders, if I'm not mistaken, or half, or minority owner with Davis. um, so there may be a power play at hand where LeBron James is going to be doing something, and now this story comes out. So this in particular is going to be very difficult for a lot of people to take in. You got people that really defend LeBron James and love everything that he's done. Then you have other people who see what he's done outside of the game and really judge that. But we have to give some sort of grace and have to have his response. It's only fair, it's only right because when somebody says something about you, you have to get the space to say something about or defend yourself. Um, because stuff like this is very scary because you spend a lifetime building up your reputation, but it takes a moment to ruin it. It takes one person to say something real nasty or real ugly, and it don't even have to be true. People could just switch the narrative and just look at you different just based on somebody saying something that's against what your character to be or what you've shown your character to be. Like not too long ago, I remember in the early 2000s when when you had other entertainers and things of that nature, the thing to throw people off was that if somebody was gay, if somebody is a was like a big actor or athlete or somebody that held like a machismo man stance, and the story came out, oh, they slept with this guy over here, and they was like, oh, for real? Oh no, we can't support him no more. We can't rock with him anymore. So that used to be a theme. That used to be a narrative. So the new narrative is a lot of these essay charges. And to call LeBron James a trafficker of women, that's you're going to have proof of that. You're going to have proof of that because you put yourself in a scary position when you don't have proof of these things or these allegations. And it's not saying that it's not true, but when you say things of somebody of his caliber or any caliber, you're going to need proof, ironclad proof, for people to look at you like you're not crazy. In this day and age, you to say something like that, you're going to need proof. Trust me. So this is going to be a very scary thing moving forward. Great Dane, LeBron stepped down, personal reasons. You don't step down from the NBA players. Your son making history for personal reasons. Diddler, Diddler, didn't. Lucas, shout out to Lucas. You might be great, man. Appreciate you, man. I ain't been paying attention. LeBron just stepped down. Yeah, I mean, this whole situation is going to be, it's going to be, obviously, if this is not true, that he's going to go out his way to protect his reputation. You're seeing Jay-Z going out his way to protect his reputation, not just for the financial standpoint and the business standpoint, but from a family standpoint, right? You have a wife, you have a mother, you have sons, you have a daughter. They need to be able to look in your eyes and know what type of man you are, whether good or bad. Some people may disagree with me about that. Because being a parent, not to switch gears, but being a parent, there's no book to parenting. So you can't help how your children look at you, no matter what you do. Whether you do something for them, whether you don't do something for them. I know people that their parents have never really been in their life like that, but they love them like, they love them like cooked food. You can't say nothing bad about their parent. You can't even say that their parent wasn't there for them. And you got people that have their parents every day actually in their life, present in their life, and they so tired of their parent that when they become adults, they don't want nothing to do with them. Like, yo, all right, I get it. You love me. Bye. So I would think that it would mean the world to somebody like a LeBron James to have this type of allegations, to have these type of things said about him, for him to defend it. So, I mean, this is a situation that's going to grow legs moving forward because people are going to begin to speculate. And for somebody like LeBron James, it's easy to track him because he's such a public figure. He plays 82 games a year in the NBA. Not to mention, obviously his son is in the league, but uh, when he makes moves, he has to get security. There's moving pieces when LeBron James move, and I know for sure that he's easy to track in that regard. So um, this is going to be something moving forward. I'm looking forward to hearing what he will have to say if he doesn't respond to this. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes not responding is the best response, but in this particular subject, this is affecting your brand. This is affecting who you proclaim to be in the public eye. So that in itself, he would have to respond to this. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. There's a woman that sleeps with 100 men in 24 hours. Um, I forget the lady name. I just seen the headline. Lady sleeps with 100 men 24 hours. I clicked on it, and it was some sort of show where she invited all these men to be with her physically. They got their time with her. I believe she kept everybody on a time limit, whether it was a minute or 2 minutes or whatever the case may be. Um, but the goal quickly backfired because she didn't have no resolve in doing this. I mean, at the end of the day, this is what she does, right? But the results of it is what? You let 100 men run through you in 24 hours. What are the benefits of that? I'm talking about her specifically. I'm not talking about all women. I'm talking about her specifically. What is the benefit of that? I just don't get it. I don't know. Maybe y'all could tell me in the chat what would be the benefit of any woman doing that, let alone her. Um, shout out to Legendary Rise. Appreciate you tapping in. Hit that like button. But again, I don't understand what the benefit of this woman sleeping with 100 guys in 24 hours is going to do. Um, Obviously, she can't be looking for love. Um, what type of validation is gained from that? I really would want to know. I really would want to know. I don't even have the answer to that. I really would want to know. As a heterosexual man, I would want to know why would this particular woman would do that. And looking at her and hearing her speak and her not having the resolve that she wanted, the results that she wanted, the understanding that she wanted, just left it more blank. It just left it more like, what are we doing as a society where that is even okay? I mean, it's one thing to have partners throughout your lifetime. I mean, if you live long enough, you're going to have, a lot of partners sexually. But it's so funny how the other subject where we have all these essay people who was essay people that had or alleged essayed, and some people had their decision taken from them, and we have somebody that made the full decision to sleep with 100 men in 24 hours. And one of the things that she said that was kind of like weird to me, she said one of the men that drove 6 hours to be with her for for the time that he got, I think he got like 2 minutes. He texted her or messaged her saying like, "Yo, like it was cool or whatever, but like what I'm saying, I wanted a little bit more time." And she felt bad that she couldn't give him more time. Like, miss, you rocking out with 100 dudes in 24 hours. Like, the math ain't mathing. Like, and then for you not to have the results that you wanted or the fulfillment that you was looking for is even more puzzling. So it's a wicked thing. I've never seen that before, but it's a very wicked thing, bro. Who does that with you? Go at 99, number 99. No, ain't enough douches in the world to get that clean. I agree with you 100%. Great Dane. I don't understand how you could be the second dude and be like, yeah, I'm next, let alone 99, let alone. I just don't understand that. I don't even understand that you have 100 guys out there that would even participate in something like that. I mean, 2 minutes. I mean, that's wicked, you know. So she didn't have the results that she was looking for, which made it even more puzzling for me. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Travis Hunter, Colorado receiver and cornerback. Travis Hunter for the Colorado Buffaloes have won the Heisman Trophy. Congratulations to Travis Hunter. Well deserved. Some people, not a lot, but some people, he's seen some backlash. Some people felt like the running back from Boise State, Genty should have won the trophy. I'm of the mindset that I believe Travis should have won the trophy. If Genty would have won the trophy, I wouldn't have been mad at it either because he's still well deserved. But I think you would have had more of an outrage if he would have won it. Um, I think Travis is the Heisman Trophy winner because he's the best college football player of the year. Period. Point blank. He is probably the second best receiver in college football and the best corner in college football. At first, I would say I would probably take about three guys ahead of Travis Hunter at receiver. I probably would have said I would take the Arizona receiver over Travis Hunter. I would probably take obviously Ryan Williams, Oklahoma, on Alabama, or Jeremiah on Ohio. That's the reason why I say Ohio. Some reason. But respect to Jeremiah, he is a baller. And there's a couple other guys who are nice. Luke the Head, I believe his name is, on Missouri is nice. I mean, there's a lot of nice players, but Travis Hunter is not getting the respect that he deserves as a receiver. His ball skills is better than everybody. Period. Point blank. At the receiver position, his ball skills. Pause. He may not be the best route runner in that bunch, but his ball skills is through the roof. His catch radius is through the roof. And his acceleration when catching them quick passes is through the roof. And he made the plays that he made. Let's throw out the fact that he played. He didn't come out the game like that. The boy had 14 touchdowns. He had, I believe, like 1,100 yards in receiving yards, and just killing. He almost had like 100 receptions for the year. Like, put some respect on his name. Luther Burden. Luther Burden. I said Luther Head. Luther Burden the third. Yes. Yes. Luther Burden. Yes. Yes. I don't know why I was. I was thinking of Luther Head. Pause. The guard from Illinois from back in the day in basketball. That's where Luther Head came from. But Luther Burden the third. He's nice from Missouri. Um, but again, Travis ball skills is through the roof. People forget Travis Hunter is a legit 6'1". He may be a little light, but he's still 6'1". And on defense, don't get me started with defense. Like, defensively, he shuts down the field, dog. He gave up one touchdown all year. One. Now, some people say, well, what about Johnson from my team from Michigan, right? That's my team. Michigan is my team. You have a solid argument there with Johnson. A solid argument. But he has better ball skills at the corner position than Johnson. He is more He is more. I'm messing up the word, but he's more instinctive than Will Johnson. Simple, plain. He's a higher jumper, and he reads. I said instinctive, but he reads the defense, well, reads the receiver better than Will Johnson, because guess what? He also plays receiver. So overall, he's the best college football player in the world, and he deserves his props. So shout out to Travis Hunter. Also, another shout out to Travis Hunter. He also signed his deal with Adidas, which making him a signature player with Adidas, joining Patrick Mahomes, my guy Patrick Mahomes from my team, the Chiefs, Micah Parsons, and Tua Tagovailoa. So shout out to Travis Hunter for signing that big Adidas deal. Get your money. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. The number one prospect in basketball. Number one prospect in basketball. AJ, or I'm sorry, AJ Dadancy. AJ Dadancy has committed to BYU. The 6'9" forward chose BYU over Kansas. Uh, North Carolina, and Alabama. Shout out to AJ. Do the damn thing. Get your money. I know that was an NIL play. Get your money. Salute to you, and make history for the time that you're going to be there and enjoy your college experience. So shout out to AJ the Dancy. I'm loving this NIL stuff for me personally. Love you, bro. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Ashley. Appreciate you. Shout out to you, 20 people in here, 20 likes. Yeah, hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. Hunter can be an elite corner or elite receiver in NFL. It will be interesting to see how much they let him do both in the pros. Let me go back to that statement alone about the Hunter situation. Um, Me personally, I think Travis Hunter, I'm with you. I think he's gonna play both. But I think immediately a team is going to take him to play corner. We need you to play corner. We got enough receivers in the league. We need somebody to cover him, right? And he's an elite top tier corner, right? And I think he will be at the next level. And I think it's going to be easier for him to play corner and then get packages on offense. But I don't think he's not going to be full time. No, no. The guys are too good in the NFL for him to go both ways. And we seen some of that last year when they played against Stanford. And he was killing against Stanford in the first half. And he wasn't expecting the receiver on Stanford to go off the way that it did. And a part of the reason why that receiver went off the way that he did, going head to head with Travis Hunter, because he probably didn't want to admit it, but he was kind of low key tired because there was certain plays that he could have made that he just didn't have the wind. So I think he's going to play corner, and then he's going to have packages on defense. I just pray and hope that Travis Hunter or Shador Sanders don't put on the Giants uniform, don't put on the Jets uniform, don't put on the Carolina uniform. Uh, that's not going to be it for those. Like, those franchises don't care about winning. They don't care about putting a winning product. So I wouldn't want to put those guys who have greatness on those type of teams and franchises. 100% lockdown corners harder to find. Fact, and they're going to pay him top dollar for that. Travis going to the Steelers. I don't think so. I don't think so. Unless the Steelers are willing to trade the barnyard because the Steelers is fighting for a playoff position. So unless they're willing to trade the barnyard, then you definitely have a shot at them. Somebody had brought up a point talking about my team. My team is the Kansas City Chiefs. I've been a Chiefs fan for all my life. We just got nice, so it's funny when I say, "Oh, you a Chief fan? You a Chief fan?" Like, little homie, we just got nice. So I'm gonna flex because we nice now. Don't make me feel bad because we've been trash and now we nice. All right, so we get that out the way. But they brought my team up. They said Andy Reid is the type of coach to pull off these type of trades to get somebody like Travis Hunter because Andy Reid is crazy enough to let this man play both ways on at the regular clip. Like, yo, let's run it back. But I don't see us doing that because the money financially it won't work. Even though Travis Hunter will be on a rookie deal, we have too much assets that we would have to move and give up to get him. But they were saying that about Kansas City, but we're not going to get Travis Hunter. The Jaguars more likely will get Travis Hunter between them or the Patriots if the standings stay the way that it is. Steelers, Travis Hunter, Steelers will have to trade up to number one probably. No, they probably have to trade to number two. You have to trade to number two. The Raiders is going to take Shador. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I think the Giants will squeeze out another win, which is going to move them from the number one pick. I don't think the Giants is going to end up with that number one pick. I think the Raiders going to have that number one pick, then the Giants, and then probably the Patriots. So they'll probably have to go to number two. As a Bengal fan, we got the Bengals as a Bengal fan. It's been all the Mahomes changed everything. I'm hoping for. I'm not gonna lie to you. I respect the Bengals. Uh, I respect the Bengals because the Bengals always give us work. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie to you. When I see Joe Burrow, a healthy Joe Burrow, I get kind of nervous. I'm not gonna lie. When we play the Bills, oh, I'm good all day. No matter how tight the game is, if 1-5 got the ball, we good. We're good against the Bills. Always. We just got their number. We in their head. We in their mental space. But the Bengals, man, y'all get on my last nerve. And it's so weird. Y'all get on my last nerves, but we could beat the Ravens, but the Ravens beat y'all. And y'all could beat us. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. I talked about AJ. Homeland Security officials have met with lawmakers about mysterious drones flying in New Jersey. If y'all haven't noticed or seen the news, there's been drones been bouncing around in different states, more so, more so near the East Coast, and people have been seeing them. Uh, these type of particular drones are federal type of drones, like homeland, top flight security, top clearance drones that are doing whatever that they're doing. It's funny that they announced that they had a meeting with lawmakers, but what came from that? So it's just weird that we know that these drones is flying around, and it's like, what are y'all recording? Y'all recording something. Shout out to my brother Biggs in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Shout out to Jesse Lester. Jesse Lester in the building. Shout out to you. We've been talking about the Bills. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate that. Uh, yeah, shout out Torres in the building. Appreciate you. Alien Invasion. I'm telling you, man, it's so weird that we seeing or we're hearing about all these drones flying around, but people don't realize the capability of drones. Drones just doesn't have the capability to film and record. They have the ability to carry missiles and bombs. So I'm curious to know what is going on in the background because when we hear all this other things that happens in the media. I feel like that is the distraction to derail us from what that is, if that makes sense. Every time something that is really big going on in, like, in the underworld, or the upper world, I should say, where the movers and shakers of our world that we will never understand the moves that they making. We hear stuff like Jay-Z, the Diddler, and so on and so forth. You get me? So I wonder what's coming from this media, because we've been seeing them, people been seeing them, and the capabilities of these drones is very scary. And I'm wondering what's going to happen. Shout out to Memphis, Yuri in the building. Shout out to Yuri in the building. Hit that like button. Appreciate you tapping in. Yeah, Memphis, or you are you saying that they seen him in Memphis? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? That you seen him in Memphis? Yeah, because that is crazy, man. Like, these drones, we don't realize the capabilities that they pack. And again, missiles, bombs, not not just to have an ability to record things. Like, you ever seen the movie Enemy of the State with Will Smith, and this movie came out in like the late 90s, and he was like on the roof somewhere, and they got cameras from outer space drumming down, where you could see him looking up at the sky and all this stuff. So these capabilities, these technological advances. Sorry, I'm tongue tied tonight. Um, is something that's not in the better interest of the everyday people. So I asked the question earlier: what should our government spend more money on? The choices was building homes for homeless, uh, military defense, and I forget the other one. And the other one was unsure, right? But we have all this money going out, and we're not seeing no real results. Having drones in the sky, what is it protecting us from? You gotta let the American people know. We need to know. We need to know. Memphis deployed. We Corinthians. People need to watch the movie Independence Day is happening. Independence Day is a very good movie. It's a very good movie. Even though, you see, you could get people off their access if you tie things into entertainment. If it's entertaining, people are gonna watch it and be like, "Man, that was a good movie," but not realizing the truth that lies in the entertainment. Right? They don't. Somebody is not that lit where they wrote this out and like, "Yo, you know what? We should put this in here and throw that in it." You're not that lit. This is stuff that's actually going on, and or have the capability of happening. And scared politics. So, but this type of thing is layered into entertainment, so it passes. So yeah, go see Independence Day. That's a really good movie depicting on what we're talking about right now. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Two Atlanta barbers fought over a client. Two Atlanta barbers fought over a client. One shot and killed the other, and the one who did the shooting, he turned himself in immediately. He called the police himself and turned himself in that same particular day and time. Um, this is really unfortunate. Like, fighting over a client, because some people be like, "Well, that's petty." I mean, to them, it's not petty because it's taking food or out your mouth, and when you have a certain amount of people of heads to cut, it adds up. Correct. Um, but I would think that they didn't become barbers yesterday. So I would think that there's a certain uh, decorum and a certain way to handle that situation without getting deadly. Uh, my condolences to his family. I'm sorry, to hear that his family has to go through that. But this is a situation that could have been avoided entirely. Um, that type of energy had to be more than just a client. It may have started off about the client on who's cutting who's here and this, that, and the third, but that has something, there's a lot of underwriting to the story that it didn't give context to, because you don't have that type of energy within any business that you're doing, especially when you're doing business in close distance with someone else. And for this man to lose his life over an argument, over altercation, is sad, and it's unnecessary. Uh, it's unfortunate, and again, condolences to his family. Moving on to our next hot topic, Crystal Magna. She admits to lying about the rape allegations uh, on the Duke lacrosse team. This was the supposed victim of said rape uh, back some time ago. I believe this was like in the early 2000s, somewhere. I can't remember the exact time. I felt like it was like anywhere from 2006 to like 2012, around that time period, it feels like. But I remember the story where there was a young lady who went to this party. The lacrosse players was there, and they SA'd her, and she admitted recently that she had lied, and she was feeling not seen, and she wanted to feel validated, and she apologizes to them, to their families, to her brothers and her family, because when a woman of your family says she's been essayed in that manner, or essayed, period, I should say. What am I saying? If she said she's been essayed as the man in her family, you feel an obligation and a duty to protect her, however, wherever, whether that's physical or whether that's just supporting her, making sure that from this day forward, anytime you see these particular people, you have somebody that have your back. You're not going to go through this situation alone. You're not going to come out of this situation alone. We're going to support you. And I'm pretty sure that they crashed out, that they jumped out the window, that they made comments, that they made decisions in protecting her, moving forward from that situation, that obviously is going to put those kids in a bad light. Now that she apologizes, what happens next at this point? She apologizes, she lies, but for up until recently, these young men have gone through a period in a time of their life where it's just unreal. I can't imagine being a college student and being accused and charged of SA. I couldn't even fathom that. I couldn't even fathom that, especially if I'm not on that type of time, which I'm not. But you get what I'm saying. If I'm not on that type of time and I'm being accused of being on that type of time, especially something like that, everybody that you knew at that point is going to look at you differently. As a man, if somebody says you essay them, I can't imagine you having many of your homeboys or your friends is like, yeah, bro, it's gonna be all right. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool, bro. People gonna put some serious distance to you, whether it's your friends, whether it's your relatives, or whether it's your family. Because I look at relatives and family two different things. That's a whole nother story. Relatives is what you're born to. Family is what they make it. But that's a whole nother story. But you're going to be looked at differently from here on out. So to be put in that type of situation, now everybody that you walk past and it's like, yeah, that's the dude that he be on that type of time, and it's like it ruins your reputation forever. Just like how I said earlier, you spend a lifetime building your reputation, and it takes a moment to ruin your reputation. So now that she's lied, now that she's apologized, do these young men get their reputation back? Do they get their reputation back? The thoughts that people once had, do it just go away? She lied. Cool. Okay. So you didn't do that. Hmm. It's no, oh, yo, you didn't do that. I didn't think you did that in the first place, but I had to give the benefit of the doubt. You lose your reputation forever or for a long period of time. Only people who really know you, regardless of what bad is being said about you, they're always going to believe the good in you. There's no way my friend, my bro, my homeboy could have ever done that. There's no way. So in this particular situation, where do these young men go from here? Because 10 years of their life have been affected. And going from college, so if you figure college age, you say anywhere from 18 to 22. 10 years from there is what? 28 to 32. How do they make a living? How do they go on? How do they move with a reputation that's beneficial enough for them to take care of their families after this lie? So it brings me to my next question. In order to avoid these type of lies, because obviously when things like this happen, people lose their life. When you go to jail, you lose your life. That the life that you once had is over with. That's gone. When you come out to nothing. You come out to a brand new world. You come out disheveled. So what happens to the people that lie? So moving forward, there should be penalties for people lying. Truth is truth, right is right, wrong is wrong. And the crazy thing about it, her lie, the foundation of her lie was was wanting her to be validated by something. And what I mean by validated by something, I don't know, for those who are out there, I don't know if you have ever had a toxic relationship and y'all arguing like cats and dogs, and you say to yourself like, "Yo, the way this person's talking to me, I wonder if they care for me at all. So I wonder if I fell off this building right here, how would this person react?" That's the validation. You get me? That's the validation people was looking for. She was looking for the validation of somebody caring for her, for somebody to put their arms around her to say, "Hey, I love you, I care for you," or whatever, whatever. That's the validation that I'm talking about. So what happens when this particular validation you're looking for is jeopardizing other people's life? What happens? Now they lied. I lied. Sorry. Cool. No, not cool. There should be harsh penalties for people lying about whatever happened to them. Harsh penalties. Is one thing when you're telling the truth and you take somebody to court and they can't find the evidence. Not cool, but cool. Get it. But it's not cool when you're lying. You're lying, saying this person did this to me and they did not. So now that is found that they didn't do this, now that it is found that this situation did not happen, there should be a penalty moving forward for the person that gave said lie. And based on that, I feel like it would be a change in people lying about other people doing whatever to them, especially when it comes to SA. Because as a man, you don't come back from that as a man. And if you're put in a situation, fellas, it can happen at any level. You don't and the scariest thing about a situation like that, you don't have to be an NBA player. You don't have to be an NFL player. You don't have to be an actor. You don't have to be a judge. You don't have to be a doctor. You could be an everyday guy going to your job, enjoying your life, having your weekends off, enjoying the game, enjoying a beer at night, enjoying your woman at night, enjoying your kids, and for somebody to ruin your reputation. You don't come back from that. At best, you'll be lucky if you're in the community the way, if you're in the community in such a way where people just rally around you and they know you too well for you to even do something like that. You have to move to another part of the earth for you to start over again, to start fresh again, just to get a different energy. But guess what? We live in a world of disclosure where people could just look your name up and find stuff on who you are. Like, yeah, nice Terry from down the block. We known him for the last 3 years. He's such a nice guy. He has a history of SA. What? No, no way. He cuts my son's hair. No way. So stuff like that need to carry harsh penalties when people are found lying. Shout out to Elise in the building. I hope I'm saying that right. That's a fact. My family had an incident back 20 years within a year doing Uber and had passenger claims situation. Like, they are innocent because it happens so long ago. Makes you look and feel weird. These situations are detrimental to your tomorrow, and we need harsh penalties to derail situations like this moving forward, because it's very hard to get your life back, if ever. All right, moving on to my next hot topic. Like I told y'all before, college football ash picks is in. College football ash picks is in. These are my ash picks for the college football playoffs, y'all. All right, first game, Tennessee versus Ohio. All right, for this particular reason, for this particular part, I will call them Ohio State, the softest state. And it's so funny. It's not even a soft state, but they did something that was so soft where it's now a felony. They passed the law. It's now a felony if you hit the flag on the Ohio's sports team. Now it's a felony, and it's so weird. I know so many people from Ohio, and these are, you know, I won't say tough, but these are not soft individuals, and they hate the new law. And I'm gonna give them hell for this until they change the law back, because we already own them, Michigan. But yeah. So for this particular portion of the show, I'm going to say Ohio State. So Tennessee versus Ohio State. I have Tennessee for the win, playing Oregon in the next round. My next game, I have Clemson versus Texas. I have Texas winning that game, beating Clemson. Texas versus Arizona State. Another first round game, Notre Dame versus Indiana. I have Notre Dame winning that game. That's the Battle of Indiana. That's crazy. I have Notre Dame winning that game, playing Georgia in the next round, and SMU playing Penn State. I have SMU losing to Penn State, and Penn State playing Boise State for the next round. So that's my college football ash picks, y'all. Oh, Rowan Jack in the building, one of our badge holders. Appreciate you tapping in. One of our badge holders, y'all. Again, tap into the membership of the page. Different memberships, different access. So make sure y'all tap in. Again, don't forget to hit that like button, y'all. All right, moving on to our next segment, Keep the Lie Live segment. Uh, this is the last segment of the night. So for this particular segment, or this show, I should say, my mother used to say something to me that is alluding to my Keep the Lie Alive. So my Keep the Lie Alive is learning how to stick to the game plan for your life. Learn the importance of your game plan and sticking to your game plan. So I grew up playing sports, y'all. I grew up playing football, basketball, and I boxed growing up. This is before I fell in love with music, right? And after every football game, I should say, my mother will always be like, and I played quarterback and I played running back. So when I played running back, I ran a lot of toss, zone, trap, and dive plays, right? For those who know, that's a lot of in the box plays, right? Very few outside plays, right? Um, and my mother would be like, why do they like to send you up the middle all the time? Why do y'all run that up the middle play all the time? Like, why? And I tell her all the time, Ma, it's the closest route to the end zone. It's straight ahead. And it's very important to stick to the game plan of life. But it's important to make a plan. It's so important to make a visual board on what your goals should be in life. It's very important that everybody watching, everybody listening, whether it's live or whether it's in the rewatch, understand you do have the power to design your life. No matter what situation you're in, all situations are temporary. If you want it to be temporary, you could get out of anything and everything with a change in mindset and a little motivation, that game plan. And just because it doesn't go like this or go all the way up the way you want it to, it's going to be like this, dog. But it's constantly going up. You're going to go down, you're going to come up. You're going to have peaks, you're going to have valleys. But it's very important to stick to your game plan to get to that end zone. So whatever field you in, whatever thing that you're doing now, and where you see your life or where you want to see your life, you have the power to design it. My biggest pet peeve that well, my pet peeve, but me as a grown man now, what I would tell to the younger version of myself who was 11, 13, that young man was goal oriented as the man that you see in front of you. But sometimes when people would say, I don't know if I see that for you, bro, I would kind of let that marinate. So I would let other people's comments and thoughts about me dictate my life. So when I realized somewhere in my mid 20s that I design my lifestyle, I have the power to make other people see what I see. Because how can they see what I see for myself? They didn't make me, so they can't break me. They can't shape me. They don't know what I have inside here. Just like people don't know what you have inside of yourself. So it's very important to learn how to stick to the game plan, designing your lifestyle. Because once you show people what it is, now they see you as that. It's so weird. I grew up as an athlete. I became an artist. So for a long period of time, all my friends just saw me as an athlete. But when I put the work in to be an artist and to go as hard as I do, my friends hit me up and say, "Yo, when is your next album coming out? Hey man, I was listening to your song about this over here, and you had said this line. What do you meant by that?" So it's very important that you stick into your game plan. It's very important because when you bring out what you have inside of you, you made people believers. And we live in a world that people who are the very best at things, they get hated on all the time. We just talked about Travis Hunter earlier, right? He gets hated on all the time. He can't do this, he can't do that. He not this, he not that. He won the Heisman. We brought up LeBron James earlier. He can't do this, he can't do that. He's not Jordan, but he's one of the best players to ever do it. We mentioned Jay-Z before. People used to say Jay-Z. So y'all get my point, right? When people are really great at something, even those people get the brunt of that backlash or responsibility. But what do? They keep showing up. Just like you, just like me. We keep showing up. And not just show up, we show out. We show up, we show out, and we bust ass. Anything I put my mind to, my mind says, I'm gonna bust that ass. Whether it's a system or whether it's a person, I'm gonna bust that ass. It's very important that I am who I am for me. And because who I am for me, the people see me as that. So it's very important that you stick to your playbook. Make your playbook. Stick to it. Design your lifestyle. We didn't make you, so we can't break you. There's nothing anyone should say to you that's going to derail you from your experience or derail you from your journey. And that's the beautiful part of all this. It's the journey. I learned how to fall in love with the journey. I'm working on a couple albums right now. And I remember when I first started music, I would rush my music out there, even if it was undone, unfinished. I did not care because I just want people to see it, feel it, even if it wasn't ready. But I fell in love with learning how to have the journey now. Not just now, but recent history. But you get the point that I'm making is that learning how to fall in love with your journey. Because when I think of the times I played football, basketball, and box, I don't remember the games like that. I don't remember the matches like that. I remember the journey. I remember the camaraderie that I had with my teammates. I remember the type of bonds that I built with my teammates, the coaches, the journey, the sheer joy on my parents' face when I accomplished a goal with my teammates or for myself. How I feel that I make other people feel. Fall in love with your journey of your playbook and stick to it. Because we all just trying to score. That's it. And that's my Keep the Lie Live for this episode. Y'all, I want to thank y'all for tapping in. Y'all been so dope, man. Appreciate y'all in the chat. Y'all was going heavy in the chat. I appreciate that. I love when y'all show that much love in the chat. Y'all showing major, major love. Shout out to my co-host Santana, and shout out to my guest co-host Jokey from Jokey Entertainment. Shout out to them, to those guys. And salute to them. And salute to y'all for helping me continue with the show, believing in the show, uh, help developing the show. Y'all guys be giving, y'all contribute by giving money, y'all contribute by leaving comments, y'all contribute by hitting that like button, y'all been contributing by becoming members of the page. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're on every Thursday, every Sunday at 10:30 p.m. Again, our podcast is every Thursday, every Sunday at 10. I think I said that wrong. Every Sunday, every Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Make sure you tap into the Overstand podcast. So I understand when you go Overstand on this channel every Monday at 9:30. Uh, Tell them it's for our project. Big love, brother. Appreciate you, Rowan Jack, man. As always, appreciate all of y'all in the chat. Again, hit that like button, man. We appreciate it. It helps with the show. It helps put us more in the algorithm. Make sure you tap into our rewatch. We got over 250 videos in our rewatch right now of this show alone. So make sure you tap in, leave comments, great conversations. So make sure y'all tap in. I want to thank some of our sponsors of the show: Bravo Section, Button Snaps, and OUV Records. Again, if you're not a sponsor of the show and interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, you can hit me on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild and just holler at me and do some business. You know what I'm saying? But again, on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, I think I said already. I'm working on my new project. I'm working on the Summer of '08 EP. It is fire. Still working on it, but it's it's gonna be done soon. So make sure y'all stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. In the mean between time, go on your wherever you get your music. Type in Ashley Lovechild. My music will pop up, and show your boy some love and support, man. I appreciate it. Again, we're going to be on again this Thursday at 10:30. Again, we're on every Sunday, every Thursday at 10:30 p.m. We're on every Monday for the Overstand podcast. So I understand when you go Overstand every Monday at 9:30. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be popping up live throughout the week, just talking about random things that may have happened throughout the week. So make sure you hit the all notification bell as well. Y'all already know, man. It's love. And we out of here. I'll see y'all next time. All right.